Is Erik ten Hag going to be the new manager of Manchester United? We don't know. I'm kind of hoping so. Let me know down in the comments if you're wanting him as the next Man United manager. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at the squad. We're going to put in my tactic that I designed a couple of days ago, the Erik ten Hag Ajax side from 2021-22. We're going to see how the United team looks with that, which players will potentially leave this summer, which players do United need to bring in, and what key positions do we need to look at this summer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have Erik ten Hag in at Manchester United for a season, see how he does using Football Manager as a little bit of a simulation. All right, go and check out the Erik ten Hag video as well. Really good tactic for you to plug in if you want to do a bit of total football. And yesterday's video on the channel, you'll find out where I got one of these from. All right, let's get into it. Smash a like on today's video. As always, superb if you could do that for me. Muchly appreciated. And let's have a little look at this United squad. A massive thank you to the One Football app for sponsoring today's video. The One Football app is available free to your mobile devices and is available via the link down in the description. The best place to get all the league news, transfer gossip, results, even live football and match highlights. I am using the One Football app daily at the moment, keeping up to date with everything that is going on in La Liga. In particular, keeping up with my beloved Athletic Club Bilbao, watching their match highlights, news and gossip, interviews as well. Not only can you follow leagues and teams, but also players. I've been using it to follow individual players' performances, have a look at their in-depth statistics throughout the season, which helps me create the tactic videos you are currently seeing on the channel for Football Manager. Thank you once again to the One Football app. Link down in the description. Go check it out. Go download it. It does support the channel. Right, let's get back into today's video. Right, so here we are. This is the Ten Hag tactic that I did. It's a 4-3-3, but it kind of moves into a 4-2-3-1 because of the movement of the central midfielder on attack. He gets really high. Go check out the video, by the way, so you understand how the tactic works. And I thought, let's have a little look at the squad and see which players suit which positions. So obviously, there's a lot of positions to be discussed, a lot of areas that definitely need strengthening. So the Ajax tactic is obviously a flat back four, but with an inverted wing-back. Mazraoui, the right-back, often drifts into these areas. They've got Daley Blind, who tucks in a little bit and helps out, doesn't venture too far forward, you don't get him on the overlap. They've got two very good defenders. They've also got a defensive midfield that I really like in Alvarez. Gravenberch, a bit of the star of the show at the moment, Mazala. They've also got David Klaassen that can play one of these two roles, but they've got Berghaus as well, who kind of does the number 10 role. On the right, they've got the young superstar Anthony. On the left-hand side, playing as a playmaker, they've got Tadic, and then a target forward in Haller. All right, so what I've done is I've called everyone back. I've set up a little database. This is what potentially Erik ten Hag has to choose from. So we're going to go through a few, like Lee Grant. We're not going to bother with you, Lee. Sorry, buddy. Tom Heaton, we're definitely not going to bother with you. I think also the days are numbered for Jesse Lingard, Andreas Pereira, Juan Mata, Edison Cavani. So that brings it down a little bit. Now, looking at the goalkeeping issue, we're going to do it position by position. Looking at the goalkeeper situation, a really interesting one, because I can see potentially Dean Henderson leaving this summer, or I can potentially see him becoming the number one. Now, there is so many areas on the pitch that I think United need to strengthen more than the goalkeeper. And I think it's really important that he focuses on other areas. However, if he wants to play out from the back, a better ball-playing goalkeeper, shall we say, sweeper keeper, then Dean Henderson would be your man. It may mean that David De Gea, who I think's got another year left on his deal. I think his deal expires at the end of 2023. Potentially then David De Gea would stay with United, be the cup goalkeeper, and then eventually move on a free. That's something that could happen. The other scenario is David De Gea in at number one still, and then Henderson leaves. Now, personally, I would go down the route of playing potentially Henderson, or at least giving him a lot more game time than he's got, to keep him at the club just for now, because there is other areas where we need to strengthen. In particular, the first bit is at right wing back. So now what I would actually do, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, as much as we thought he was going to be a fantastic player, he's not actually good enough. He's not good enough. He's not going to be able to play. If it's Luis Enrique, if it's Pochettino, if it's Ten Hag, he is going to struggle, because even though he's a tremendous defender, we all know about that, he's not just average on the ball, he's shocking on the ball. Absolutely terrible, really poor. So for me, bearing in mind Crystal Palace needs somebody this summer probably to play right back, for me, Aaron Wan-Bissaka would be out of the door, which does then leave, we need an option at right back. Now, right now at the moment, there is Dalot. Potentially he could step in there and do a job. He's been okay. He hasn't been amazing. He's been sort of like a 7 out of 10, nothing amazing. Let me know, guys. Right back, would that be an area where you would look to strengthen? If you did, where would you strengthen? Who would you look at picking up? Right, moving on to the centre-halves. As much as I'm not happy with the amount of abuse Harry Maguire is getting, if he plays this high line, Harry Maguire has been very good for Leicester. He's also been very good for England. Two main reasons, because they don't play as much of a higher line. And he's also played in a back three for England, which I think has helped him out a little bit. So obviously Varane is going to be the main man. I do think players such like Erik Bailly needs to be moved on. They may keep Tuanzebe. And I don't think he's going to go Harry Maguire. Phil Jones will definitely needs to go. And then that leaves potentially, did he get another centre-half in? Did he go with a Lindelof and Varane to start with? Maybe. And then at left full-back, you've got Telles, Brandon Williams, Luke Shaw. Potentially Brandon Williams could be a backup to Dalot if they don't want to strengthen in that right-back area straight away. Telles and Luke Shaw are both adequate. I'd probably still go for Luke Shaw. I thought he played really well for England. He just needs to get that run of games going for Man United. He'll be fine. So if we go with Varane, and we go for, I'm going to have to say Lindelof is ahead of Maguire. Now, here's an interesting one. Everyone keeps saying we need a defensive midfielder. I'm in total agreement. We do need someone better than Scott McTominay. However, the way Ajax have played this year with Alvarez in there, I think Alvarez must have been a centre-half at some point in his career. He's okay on the ball. He's quite tidy on the ball. But the thing he does do well, he breaks up play. He wins tackles. He wins headers. He's aggressive. He works hard. It's kind of all the things that Scott McTominay does. Now, I think they still need strengthening there because we don't want to use a Matic. We can't use a Fred. So there does need to be another player moved into there. But you'd be interested to see, I would say, if Scott McTominay was in that role for Man United next year, I would expect him to really excel under a little bit more coaching, better coaching from Erik Ten Hag. The work he has done with the players, the amount Alvarez has improved in that role. He's not a deep line playmaker. Alvarez does not switch balls out to left and to the right and play lots of progressive passes. He's in there to break up play and get the ball down, play the ball off to the midfielders, to the wide players. Nothing amazing. I think that Scott McTominay would do it. I wouldn't go out and buy a Declan Rice. We could talk about players like Tchouaméni. Calvin Phillips would obviously be a good option as well. Probably not going to happen. But defensive midfield, once again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Right, this one, the other one, is an interesting one because what we are going to do, we're going to clear out a few more players, I think, in the squad. Fred will stay. Matic is hopefully nowhere near the squad just because he's obviously past his best. James Garner is a player that's done really well at Nottingham Forest. Whether he's ready to step up or not, I don't know. Once again, it will depend on where Man United think they need to strengthen. If they would strengthen in other areas, centre-back, right-back, striker, attacking midfield, then they may say, right, we need James Garner in as a little bit of a squad player. Same with Donny van de Beek. Does Ten Hag really like him? We'll soon find out if Ten Hag comes manager and what he does with him. He can't get a game at Everton. Will he fit the style of play? I think he kind of did that central midfield, the number 10 role last year. For Ajax the last year that he played, did it really well. Will he get that opportunity at Manchester United? I don't know. What I would do would give it to Bruno Fernandes, obviously, see if we can get a better tune out of him next season. I think he just needs to be playing in a better team, better coach side, better structure. Bruno Fernandes will hopefully come back to his best. And then midfield is a huge one. I think Paul Pogba is going to go. Now, bearing in mind, he is, he's 28 now. He's going to be 29 at the end of the season. The amount of money he wants for the term he wants, I would let him go. He's not willing really to sign a new deal anyway. I would let him go and really look at strengthening in this area and ploughing as much money as Man United want to into buying a really good Mazzala. Gravenberch is potentially going to be a little bit cheaper. He's got a year left on his deal, but everybody, I think, Bayern Munich, the Madrids, Barcelonas, Liverpool, I think, are interested as well. There'll be a big, big queue for someone as good as Gravenberch. But I think there's definitely a role there for him in this team. He would slot in nicely. I do think Paul Pogba as well, the amount of games he's missed, he must have missed at least maybe 30% of games over the last 3-4 years. That you would imagine would get worse with age. So I think maybe it's a time just to give the opportunity to rebuild the squad a little bit quicker and allow players such as Pogba, Cavani as well, to leave. Right, that leaves these front positions now. Obviously, Jadon Sancho, I don't think they'll play. I suppose Jadon Sancho could do that role. But then what they would do with obviously no Mason Greenwood, Rashford is not great, Martial is not great on that side. I think we'll try and move on Martial. They may look at picking up another one, so then they would go with Sancho, Rashford, Alanga, and somebody else, a left-footed inverted winger. Let me know your thoughts. Will they dive in? Will they go for an Antony at Ajax? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And the final position is the target forward. Now, I kind of thought Ronaldo, just for a season, would be able to do an okay job. It's not an old-fashioned target man. Sebastian Haller currently plays it at Ajax. It's not the old-fashioned where they're absolutely battering around up front, John Parkin. I'm not kind of seeing that. From what I've seen from Sebastian Haller, he still links play a little bit. And essentially, he's like an aerial poacher is a good word to do it. He gets in the 6-yard box. A lot of his goals are from tap-ins. He's only scored 3 headers. So I imagine Ronaldo scored more than 3 headers this season. What they tend to do is they build out from the back to Ajax, but then when they occasionally need to go long or they need a little bit of an outball, Ronaldo is pretty decent in the air. Well, he's very good in the air. Whether he's very good with his back to goal, I'm just thinking that Ten Hag or whoever is in charge at United is going to have to really get a tune out of Ronaldo and work with him for that final year. It's only going to be a year because he signed a 2-year deal, so it's going to be a year. Now, my preference, I think they need to sign someone in the summer. Losing Cavani, losing Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, I would move on Martial as well. Diallo is not at the level yet. He's not even struggled to get in at Rangers. So it's looking a little bit thin. So what I would look at is potentially signing Darwin Núñez. Now, the reasons why, because breaking the bank, no, I think it's maybe 60, 70 million pound they'll get him for. In terms of Manchester United, it's not going to be 150 million that you would have to maybe play for a Harry Kane, 150 million that you would have to pay for a Declan Rice in a different position. So it's maybe business that could be done. And the thinking behind it is he could potentially just play as a little bit of a backup rotation with Ronaldo for that one season. He's going to have to move to a bigger league, a lot stronger league. He's only young. It'll give him time to adapt, Darwin Núñez, and then give him a year. Ronaldo then moves on to an MLS or moves back to Portugal or whatever, and then Darwin Núñez has had a year just getting to grips with the Premier League. I think that is a really good natural way. I think United need to go down the option of signing players that are not quite at their peak in terms of lower prices. So players like Tchouaméni would be really good. Darwin Núñez would be another one. Gravenberch would be another one, potentially. Someone who is not going to cost 100, 150 million. Maybe 3 or 4 of those sort of players would be good. So if we could maybe get a Núñez in there, Gravenberch in there. Defensive midfielder, Tchouaméni. I do like Alvarez. I really enjoy watching Alvarez play. Watched a lot of highlights of him recently. That would be an option. And at centre-half, there is someone called Akanji, the Swiss defender who's at Dortmund. I think that would be a sensible option. Once again, he's only got 30. He's only got a year left on his deal. So Dortmund, and he's not willing to sign. Dortmund will probably have to cash in for maybe around, £30 million. There's also Tielemans. I'm not quite sure if he's at the standard of Manchester United. But that is it. What I'd like you to do, guys, put down in the comments which players, I'm going to say name 4. Name 4 players you would like to see come in at Old Trafford. A budget of around, I'm going to say no more than 200 million. You'll probably get a few million pounds in for player sales and stuff. So there you go. 4 positions at Manchester United. Players down in the comments. Realistic transfers, 20 million. Not 20 million. That'll be hard. 200 million. Right. What we're now going to do is, guys, we're going to go and look at Erik Ten Hag. I've put him in at Manchester United. Let's see how he does at Manchester United. Right, here we go, guys. There is Erik Ten Hag. Now, I think he's going to get a nice little boost. I like his tends to use zonal marking, allow creative freedom, plays out from the back, intense pressing, uses counter pressing, tends not to sit back and protect a lead, and doesn't rely on set pieces. That's the kind of manager we want at Manchester United. League-wise, they have finished 3rd. Now, if we're Manchester United next year, we'd probably take that. But they've only racked up 69 points, and Tottenham have finished 2nd with Antonio Conte. It's a gripe. We could have got Conte, but Erik Ten Hag getting 3rd place. I think we would take that. Bearing in mind there's going to be a lot of rebuilding, a complete new style of play. It's not going to be wonderful from day one. It's going to take a good season or 2 to get things implemented what he wants to see with his fingers crossed, his United side. So a third place Champions League football, bearing in mind that we're probably not going to get Champions League football this season, I think is a decent effort. Let's just have a look at the fixtures. Did we win anything? Champions League, Group E, they finished second with Sporting. Dortmund there. Quarterfinals, they lost in the quarterfinal to Bayern Munich in extra time as well, which is a little bit of a shame. FA Cup, they lost in the semi-final. Carabao Cup, lost to Liverpool. So it's not too bad. It's not amazing. We're not expecting it to be amazing in the first season. Did he do any transfers? I banned transfers in the summer, but I allowed it in the January, and he has picked up 2 players. Martin de Roon is an interesting one, a defensive midfielder, so it just shows what Manchester United probably are going to look for this summer. It probably wouldn't be Martin de Roon because he's at the age of 30. Remember, United need to be really looking at players sort of like 24 and under to sort of like get a new generation of players coming through, signing players 27, 28, the Varans that we've done in previous seasons, Cavani's, the Ronaldos. We need to go away from that. We need to sort of like make our own players a little bit. So Martin de Roon wouldn't fit, but obviously the position, 41.5 as well. That's a lot of money. And they've also signed Marcelo Allende, a nice Chilean, dribbling 15, first touch looks like he would excite the crowd. Only 5'5", runs with the ball often. Has he played much? No, it looks like they've sent him out on loan, but a nice little pickup for, what was that? 3.9 million as well. Never come across him before. And on the outs, Fred's gone. But I think Fred is a backup number 8. You know, it's all right saying players like Fred are not good enough, but we're not going to be able to play the strongest 11 every week. So him as a backup midfielder, I don't think is too bad, but getting 7.5 million raising to 9.75 isn't bad. Pereira's gone out on loan. Matic has gone out on loan. Brandon Williams has gone out on loan as well. Twanzebe's left. So a little bit of money gone. Alvarez on loan as well. Chong's gone. Phil Jones gone on loan. So there's definitely a little bit of a change. Let's go and see which players have actually been playing. What's he been playing? He has been playing a 4-2-3-1, which I kind of expected. Looks like he's been going with Cavani a little bit. Pogba, Van der Beek in there, but who has actually been playing the games? So Bruno Fernandes had a really good season, probably playing as a number 10, 18 goals, 70 assists. Ronaldo has racked up 47 appearances, 20 goals. Not bad. Rashford getting 11. Cavani 10 off the bench. Pogba with 7 has played obviously a fair bit. Sancho's had a decent season, 12, not enough goals, only 6 goals, but 12 assists. Luke Shaw looks like has been very good. Diallo's played a fair bit. Donny van der Beek has played a little bit. Any players not... Who's been playing at right back? Dalot has been playing at right back by the looks of it. He's the first choice, which is interesting. Something that I imagine will definitely happen if he takes over as manager. Tellez has hardly played, which probably is a little bit unrealistic. He's probably gone with Harry Maguire, has he? Yeah, Harry Maguire's played 37. And then looks like there's been a little bit of a rotation. Varane has obviously been a bit of a mainstay. I think Harry Maguire is definitely going to struggle just because of the pure pace of him and his agility not being able to move as well. With that high line, I can see him. I don't know if he's going to leave. That would be a difficult deal to be done, I imagine, for any club. And where would he go? Would he go back to a Leicester? Needs to be someone obviously plays a little bit of a lower block. And then players like Lingard's barely played, Tellez, Henderson, he's gone with David De Gea, Alanga. I think the thing with Henderson is he actually that good? Yeah, he's all right with his feet. He's not amazing with his feet. I don't think he's an Alisson. He's not an Edison with his feet as well. So I could probably see him going with David De Gea more than Henderson, which does mean that we probably need to sign a number 2 next season. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know, as I said, 4 transfers, what would you do? Go and check out the other 2 videos if you want to see this Man United shirt that I picked up the other day. Also, the Erik Ten Hag tactic as well. It is a really good tactic. You need to be a good side to plug it in, but it is really, really good, really exciting to watch in the match engine. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Smash a like on today's video. It'll be muchly appreciated, and we'll see you at the weekend. We've got the final episode of Manchester United DNA. Take care, guys. See you later.